Hello lovely people, welcome back to my channel. It's been so long since I've seen you and I'm sorry about the delay in the videos, but as you can see my background's a little bit different. I actually moved apartments in February, so between packing, unpacking, building furniture, it's been a lot. But it also gave me time to think about all the videos that I want to make for you. And this one has actually been in the pipeline for quite a long time, since Valentine's Day actually. My boyfriend got me a custom fitted suit as my Valentine's Day gift. I don't know much about suits at all. My past suit was one from your standard Banana Republic suits, your black, I actually had a gray suit too, but I did not ever got a custom fitted anything. I've been with my boyfriend to a couple of his fittings where he's gotten his suits, but I've never done one myself. So it was quite a new experience for me. And as a consultant, when you don't know what's going on, you do research and you make a PowerPoint about it. So that's exactly what I did. Let's look at it now.
First, I laid out the options for the pants and blazer to know what I needed to research. For the pants, I needed to think about the fit, looser or more fitted, the design of the pants and leg ends, and how I wanted the waist. For the blazer, my options were around length, the look of the shoulders, buttons, lapel, pockets, and the vent in the back. Let's look at some pictures to illustrate these options. Fitted pants are tighter to the body, while a flare pant is a looser fit and can get wider around the ankles. For the leg ends, you can choose to do straight if you want a cleaner look, or you can do cuffs if you want more flare. Then you have pleats. Of course, you can decide on no pleats, like this look, a single pleat down the leg, like this example, or pleats around the waist, which gives you more flexibility when you sit down. On the waist, you can do a thinner waist or a thicker waist, low or high-waisted. You can also do belt loops or side adjusters, or both as this person has here. You can also do a gurkha, which kind of looks like a belt and side adjuster combination. You can also decide on one or multiple gurkhas like this. So those were the pants. Let's now go to the blazer. First, length. Either long, a bit like a cardigan, medium, a bit below waist, or short, above waist like this, or even cropped if you want. For the shoulders, you can do a relaxed or unstructured fit, or a structured shoulder. If you want to be extra spicy, you can do extra structured too, like this one. The blazer can be a single-breasted suit with one column of buttons, or a double-breasted suit with two columns of buttons. For the lapel, you can do a peak lapel, which is a lapel that ends in a point like this one, hence peak. A notch lapel for a more subdued and semi-formal look, or a shawl lapel for a very formal look. I really like this look actually, but I'm going for a work blazer, so this won't be the vibe I go for. For the pockets, you can do a patched pocket for a more casual look like this one, jetted pockets for a sleeker, more formal look, or flap pockets if you want a middle ground in terms of formality. Lastly, the back of the jacket, which is just how many vents you want. The more vents you have, the easier it will be for you to sit down, get up, and allow more airflow to keep you cooler when you're wearing the blazer. Here's a summary of the options I was considering and just talk through with you. And in terms of what I was thinking going into the tailor, I wanted fitted pants, straight leggings, and wasn't sure about the pleat, either middle or top pleat. Definitely a thin waistband, and belt loops plus side adjusters too. For the blazer, I wanted a medium length, structured shoulders, potentially 3 buttons, double-breasted. Wasn't sure about the lapel, probably a peak or a notch, and wasn't sure about the pockets either jetted or flap pockets. With those ideas in mind, I pulled together a few pictures to create my vision board. I wanted either a green double-breasted suit or a burgundy double-breasted suit, and I really like these pictures that I just pulled off of Google and pulled together. I wanted structured shoulders, and this is another example of the double-breasted look that I was going for. I wanted either the peak lapel or the notch lapel, depending on what the tailor recommended. So for the pant, I wanted pleats at the top. I wanted it to be high-waisted, and I wanted a fitter look like this one. In addition to the pleats at the top, like this example, I also wanted one long pleat in the middle of the pant leg all the way down. So this is the idea that I started with. Now let's go to the tailor together. The first step in the process was to talk to Jim about what I wanted, including color, the fabric choices, including if it's wrinkle resistant, if it's sweat proof, and that it's year round, meaning breathable in the summer and keeps you warm in the winter. And then we also talked about silhouettes. Now, this is the first time I changed my mind out of many times in the tailor, and I ended up going for a silhouette that is tighter around the waist area and looser the further down the leg that you go. So then we were choosing fabrics, and even though I was focusing on the green and the burgundy fabrics, there were still a lot of choices. I really wanted something that was more striking and also appropriate for work. So with Jim's help, we were able to narrow them down until we found this one that looked really cool. It actually has platinum accents on it, and when you look at it straight on, you can't totally tell until you're moving around or when you're in the sun. So that's the one I ended up going for. Alright, where it gets really crazy though is around the details that you can add to a custom suit. There's a lot you can do to make it more fitting to your silhouette or just accentuate your natural body a lot more. And I'm really happy that Jim was able to pull different examples from customers that hadn't picked up their suits yet, so I can see how some of these details come together. Plus, he gave me some really cool tips, like not having the standard buttons on top of your breast area on the double-breasted suit, because it's just not as comfortable. Also, looking at the buttons, there are a lot of different choices, but Jim actually recommended one that highlighted the green of the fabric, and I really liked it. Other detailing that you can add is also the inner lining, and I had to flip through quite a few different examples and options for that too, and ended up picking this bird lining, which just looked really fun and different. Here's the combo of the buttons, lining, and fabric together. We also did black pants in addition to the suit pants, and that's because there was a limited amount of fabric for the suit pants and we really wanted to get the measurements right. So we used the black pants that had more fabric to really design the pants in a way that fit really well and that we liked before we had the green fabric cut. So I was originally thinking of adding pockets to the pants, but Jim recommended not to add pockets because over time, especially with the stretchier suit pants, it'll flare up and it won't look as sleek. So instead, he showed me this hidden pocket feature, and you can store your credit cards, a few keys, and it's not visible with the pants. So we ended up going with that instead. Measurements in general can be pretty uncomfortable. Jim was very respectful and he asked me permission before approaching me and starting any of the measurements. Hindsight really is 2020 though, because of course I needed an undershirt. I didn't have an undershirt with me when we went to the tailor, but thankfully we were going to dinner after and I had this Skims dupe dress with me. So what I ended up doing was folding it over and making it kind of like an undershirt so that I can have something that's closer to the body and so the measurements can be as accurate as possible. I also needed heels so that we can look at the length of the pants, and I did remember to bring those, thankfully. Then Jim brought out a standard blazer, and the goal was to test how it looks on my neck and on my shoulders. On the neck, he wanted to make sure it wasn't pushing up into my neck and the back and that it was seated comfortably. And for the shoulders, depending on your posture, for example, if you're slouchy, your shoulders will land differently on the blazer. So he wanted to see where my shoulders were naturally. He was also able to tell that I'm a side sleeper because of where my shoulders were postured, which I thought was a freaky cool thing to be able to tell as a tailor. We also checked out things like the length of the sleeves and different lengths for the blazer, and we were done for the day. And that's it. Overall, it was a really fun experience and I learned a lot throughout it. I didn't know anything about suits coming into this, and there are so many different details and nuances that go into making a customized suit that having someone who could guide me through it was game-changing. Jim is just really passionate about suits and wasn't trying to sell me on anything. He was giving me different examples and ideas, and having that guide was really, really helpful throughout the process. So that's all for now. The suit is actually coming out in just a few weeks because it took me a long time to put this video out, and I am excited to show you how it all comes together, so stay tuned for that. I also have a few different ideas of other topics and videos that I'm going to share with you in the next few weeks, so stay tuned for those as well. All right, until next time, bye!